These are my new golf clubs for 2025, and today I'm going to be playing my first round of the year and see how I get on with them. And for every stroke play round that we're going to be playing this year, we're going to add in some brackets that I want to try and achieve. And these brackets have been calculated by looking at the results from the PGA in Lancashire's Players Tour Series. Now, looking at the average scores, if I were to shoot 3 under, which is bracket 1, I would win. Most events, if you finish 3 under, you're going to win that event. So that is bracket 1. 3 under or better, I achieve a win. The next bracket we want to look at is top 5. And if I were to shoot 1 over or better, I would achieve a top 5 position. And the final bracket that we want to get into is a top 10 finish. Now, to do that, I have to finish 3 over or better. So those are the 3 brackets that we're going to be basing our stroke play events on when we're here doing in the reds and things like that, to also allow me to see where I would be when I'm going to be competing to try and win my first professional tour event. And today's venue is the stunning Formby Ladies, a par 71 with a course rating of 66.2. So that means 5 strokes are going to be taken off our brackets, and you'll see the adjusted brackets for us here now. And just another addition to make me be a little bit more focused on these rounds, for every time I don't get in bracket number 3, we are going to put £10 in a pot and add them up over the year, and at the end of the year we're going to donate it to the Golf Foundation to help young golfers get into the game. Let's head to the first tee and see how we fare. So we've got down to the first tee, and before we tee off, I want to say to everybody, have a great 2025 for your golf. But we know our scoring target for today. I've got my new clubs. I think it's a great place to sort of settle us in. The course, if you haven't been down here, is fantastic. It requires a lot of irons as well, which is where my big switch is with all my new clubs. So I've had my first lesson with my new coach. I'm going to try and implement everything he's been saying, and we're going to do it today. We're going to beat that barrier. Comment down below what you think. Little bit squaffy, but safe. We will take it. It's actually a good angle into the flag there. That's why I hit it there. There was obviously method to the madness. 100 yards on the nose. Nice little number to start us off. As you can see, brollies are up because the conditions are very much England in January. But 52 degree, pins tucked behind a couple of bunkers here. So I'm just going to air slightly right of it, knowing that my miss is a pull anyway. And if we do pull it, we should be on the money. Well, we got that pull. Sounded like it had landed greenside. It's whether it's stopped on the green there. It has. Thank goodness. We've got a birdie part to start the year. Well, there's the beauty of new wedges coming out of the rough. The greens are still pretty firm given the time of year, and it's stopped very quickly there, which is nice. About 15 feet for a birdie now. Roll this in, this would be a lovely little start. Down the hill, and it's got about 1 ball's worth of left to right on it. Oh, it's a cruel game sometimes. Hey, if we keep giving ourselves chances though, that's what this year's about. Taking the positives. New mindset, new results. Let's go. So our second hole is a par 5, and this is why when we saw the bracket at the start of the video, we tend to be off the +5 number as it would be, or the 5 better, because of the length of the par 5s generally. 413 this one. I think the 8th is the longest one, that's just a little bit over that, about 450. But even though they're short, they're very narrow, the fairway, so you've got to be good off the tee. Otherwise, it can play like a par 5 because you'll lay up because of coming out of the heather. But I'm going to go 5 wood down here. Little one down the left with a bit of fade, and hopefully hit a decent shot. Well, it's down the middle. Not my best strike, but it will play. That's one great thing about the 5 wood. I think when you hit it not fantastic, they just sort of pop up a little bit, spin a bit more, and you get away with a little bit more with them. So I think this could be a club that when I'm under pressure, if I need to get it in the fairway, it's one that I can just fall back to. So we found the fairway. We've got 193 to the front, 208 to the middle, and 226 to the back. It's a weird one because it's actually 2 degrees at the moment out here. It's early morning. I think it's very cold. Obviously it's cold, but the air feels thick. It's raining a tad, so I don't think the ball's flying anywhere near what it would do normally. So I think we've got to sort of add maybe 10% onto yardages today, maybe 5, probably 5 as it gets a little bit better as the sun rises a bit more, if there is any. So about 2 at 195's nearly 215 to the front. So it's the best part. 208 is playing, gosh, 230 almost. So I'm going to go with my hybrid, give it a go, because actually up around the green, it's not that penal if you miss it. You can play up the left and let it just move back in a little bit from there. Covers the traps, hopefully, if struck well. And then we're good. A little bit diggy. Missed that trap. Just over the mound on the right. It's okay, it's down there, chipping a putt. Well, I'm very happy with that miss. Calculations did well there. Wasn't my best hybrid. Early morning, cold, and as I said, sort of that front was playing 215, and we've left it perfectly at the front here with a lot of green to work with. This is an area of my game that I really want to spend a lot of time on, chipping around the green. I think I need to get a lot sharper here, because I think it's an area that even if you're not striking it well, you can still save any rounds from there and build good rounds because of it. So trying up and down this here, just a basic 52 bump and run. Severely underhit that one. Severely underhit. Oh well. Here we go. Putt. I wanted to land that roughly where I'm standing now, but I landed it a lot shorter. Nothing a good putt can't solve though. Just jumped a little left on me. Jumped a little left. Well, a 5. Chip let me down there. That's one of the ones where, you know, I feel like maybe missed a shot there, left one out because of that poor chip, but plenty more golf to be played as the rain cometh. 126 to the flag. That looks like it's slap bang in the middle of the green. Bunker just at the front. That's going to be playing, what are we, 116 to 10. 10 yards between flag and bunker. 126, it's cold, like I say, probably 10% is what we've got to work off. So I'm thinking just a 9 or a 3/4, just take a tiny bit off the 9, because this is my 150, 145 club. This should work. As this is our first round of 2025, actually first time I'm on a golf course due to snow and rain, one thing that I think will happen this year is a hole-in-one out on the golf course. I don't know when, but I think we're going to have one. Anyway, back to the matter at hand. Let's see if we can get it now. 126, take a bit off this, go down the grip slightly. terrible strike. On the green though, on the green it should be. Maybe just run onto the fringe. Was right about the club to take a bit more. Well, we've clung on to the green, which is nice. Just outside, 25 feet here, left to right. It's an interesting one. It goes down, then up, then down. So pace is very much a priority. Got the pace. Just started a little bit too left. Tried to miss. Tried to wiggle away from me that one then, but 3 pars to start. Not bad. Maybe a little bit behind our brackets if we're trying to get that win or in the top 5 or top 10, but early days, lots of golf to be played. Let's keep going. So if you haven't seen my what's in the bag yet, I suggest you go and check that video out to see the full array of clubs that we've got. But one big change was the S3 irons that came in, new Mizuno iron, and I'd originally thought I was going to end up in a JPX Forge, which is a slightly bigger head, bigger cavity, still aimed at the aspirational player, but just had that little bit of sort of forgiveness and help behind it. But after my fitting that I had with Alex and spending some time even hitting the JPXs on my own out on the course and in the studio, I felt like with these S3s, they don't look as forgiving as they actually are. They're a one-piece forged golf club, and I felt like there was actually quite a bit of help there even on the missed strikes. I mean, I've not struck it fantastic today, and we've hit 3 greens out of 3 and not been wild with the irons. So it'll be interesting. I do have a 4 and a 5 in the Mizuno 245 as a backup iron if I am getting a little bit nervy and feel that the 4 and the 5 iron are too much to handle. But I don't think, or hopefully, they won't be coming out. So our 4th hole is a par 4. I think this is one of my favourite holes just because of how the green sits up into the pine trees when you get down here. 286 yards, a bunker down the fairway at 225. So I think 4 iron today doesn't get there because of the cold. So down here, hopefully hit a nice wedge in, try and get into the red numbers now before a testing couple of holes coming up. If I hit my 4 iron like that for the rest of the year, I will be very happy. Took a funky bounce, good strike, and got it away. 78 yards, is that? Yes, 78 yards for us. Good thing I didn't have too much fade on that and it kicked left, because we're about 5 paces behind the bunker and it all falls into it over there. So fortunate in that instance. Right, 78. Interesting because I've only got 52 and 58 wedges in the bag now, as where I used to be a 50, a 54 and a 60. So it's a little bit in between, but 52 with a left arm level flies 75 normally. It'll do, donkey. That was that 75 number. Another good look at birdie, just landed a couple paces beyond, which I'm quite happy about. If we could hit a lot of pitches like that this year, I'd be very, very happy. I'm feeling this one. It's one of those putts when you look at it, you just get the line straight away. Just bolted it through the break. Hit that exactly where I wanted to. I just leathered it. 4 pars in a row. It's better than a lot of starts I've had around here. At this point I'm only 1 or 2 over, so good signs, good vibes. Keep vibing. Just channel your inner Scottish Scheffler, just nice and placid. Just here to play golf, do a job. That's all we're here for. So our fifth hole, this is one of my favourite holes in the country, this. I absolutely love this par 3. Doesn't need to be long to prove that it's a tricky little thing. The green's miniature, there's 2 bunkers at the front and you raise up the slope. The pin's 130, but I reckon at about 127 is the false front where it all comes back down the hill. So there's probably another 10 to 15 beyond the flag. Big slope left that you can hit it into and it will come back. The only place you don't want to hit it is on the right hand side. So I'm going to air left in between the hill and the flag. 9 iron, similar shot to what we faced on the third really. If I can hit a similar one, maybe a little bit better, should find the dance floor. Very similar strike to the one on the third. Good thing about what I've done there twice now, here and the third, instead of hitting what I think would be that normal club pitching wedge, gone up one and taken it off, and even when I've not hit my best shot, I've still found the dance floor and given myself an opportunity. Right, it's one of those yardages again. Up the hill. Don't know what it is. Every putt I've left myself today, bar the one on the second, has been left to right. It's a year of left to right, as it feels like. That is what we're going to face. Maybe they're not left to right. Maybe I've just got one leg shorter than the other. It just went back at the end the other way. Well, what I'm happy about is I'm actually hitting the putts where I intend to, so just a calibration issue at the moment, but 5 pars in a row, happy with that. 6th hole is 405 yards. Dogleg from right to left, there is a bunker to cover is 210 yards from up here. So I think my 5 goes over it. There's some more bunkers that run out at 270. So I think this is the play, just a bit of a fade over that bunker and gets us slap bang in the centre. A little bit steep on it, but it's fairway bound. Very steep on it. That went nowhere. Actually pulled up level with the bunker. Luckily, I got the shape I wanted, so we're not in it. 200 yards, wowzers. That was a little bit of a miss hit there. 200, but it's only 185 to the front. Normally in the summertime here, if you get a good one away and it's bouncing, you're going in with wedge as well. Today, slightly poor tee shot, and I'm going to be looking at, I think, 5 iron now to fly it to the front. Oh, pulled it. Kick right for me. That was just a very bad golf swing. Very bad. Well, not the ideal one there. 30 yards up to the front. Very steep swing that. A little bit the old crept in. But, que sera. 52, land it on. Let it just trickle over. The only tricky thing about this shot, flat front, then there's a big swell, then it goes into a bowl where the green is. So, gotta get this running a little bit. So back foot 52 helps. Vision 25 is happening. We've got a tap in. We have got a tap in. Right then, let's tidy up, Matthew. Tidy up, tidy up. Wow. I just felt my blade so open then as I hit that. That was annoying. Somewhere completely different in my head than as I was over that putt. Frustrating, but we move on. Good thing about that was the pitch. First sort of pitch I've had to face, and I hit a great one. Shame I just had a mind melt over the putt. Well, our first little test we faced there. Now it's time to get back on the horse. Par 4, 250. Got the 5-wood out. This thing goes straight, so aim at the middle of the green and try and get up near it and reclaim that very uncharacteristic little mishap. Just leaking a bit. It's okay there though. It's okay, nicely struck. Little pitch across. Well, a good tee shot there has left us just pin high with the perfect little run through here of the 2 bunkers. I don't have to go over any of them. All I've got to do is just land it onto the green and let it trundle out. So 52, bump and run, just a basic little pitch. So it's pulled it a hair and it's just trundled on, but not a bad pitch from me. Normally those would be like just on the green, so an improvement. Pushed it. Not my day on the greens thus far. That's a little frustrating, that. A little frustrating. A good pitch and a good tee shot, and the thing that normally I can rely on, you're letting me down. Our 8th hole is a par 5, 433 yards. I really need to make birdie here. You shouldn't sort of rely on holes, but this is one that I need to pick off. And I think for 18 holes, now being 1 over par, we're probably, you know, a good maybe 3 off the pace at this point in the round. So I'm not too worried though, because I've done everything pretty nicely, just that one odd error. So keep going, keep trusting what you're doing, and we're good. Fading back to the fairway. And it is a fairway found. You can definitely feel that the ball's not going as far with like multiple layers on and not being able to swing as quickly in the cold heat, but hopefully that drive there sets up an opportunity for going at the green in 2. Well, that was very much needed. 169 to the flag now. 186, that's potentially playing with how cold it is. Yeah, I think we go 6 iron and we just rip this in close. It's time to get the foot on the gas and hit a great golf shot. He says as he hits the worst iron shot he's hit yet. Just on the ball below my feet there, and I just couldn't feel like I could turn left, and I just got stuck. Oh, Matthew. The positive from that shot was that we got the distance right. We just totally miscalculated on the direction. The compass was very much broken. Tricky shot now. Sat okay. I'll try and land it maybe on high and towering, or be very accurate round here. So 58 mid-flight, so at least it's got a little bit of forward to it. Shame from such a good drive that to be staring a 25 footer for birdie. Could be the putt that drops now though. It's a par, but it feels very much like a bogey. Feels very much like a bogey, that one. Good drive though. But I think the biggest shining light of 8 holes thus far is probably the new attitude that I got with all my new clubs as well. Trying to stay as positive as possible, not be negative on myself or any shots that I'm hitting, find a little bit of something to take away from every shot is the idea, instead of reacting to them. We can learn from them instead of that this year. It's not stood us in good stead thus far, but hey, nice little birdie down here and we're set up for a good back nine then. 319 yards is the par 4 ninth. Now, seems short, but there is a big valley that sort of runs from about 230 up to the green, so you can't really hit it into it because it narrows and gets bounces and you get really weird stances. So just going to lay it up short with a 5-wood just down the right, because it's not too bad if you creep into the valley that way, and hopefully hit a decent wedge in. Slight bit necky, but in the right spot. Right, it's a good little spot to leave it there, because actually, even though we've missed the fairway, we can still see the flag that is 110 yards away. Now, looking at it from the tee, I noticed it was on the right hand side, so I can go a little bit left. Ball's above my feet on an upslope, so it should go left anyway. 10%, 10. I think I can hit a full 52. I think, yeah, be a bit more aggressive with this one. Be the right club, please. Well, it was right at the stick. I ended up changing up to a pitching wedge just because I didn't feel like I could get as much movement with the stance. I thought the pin was more here, so I didn't want to leave it short, because if you end up missing short here, there's a false front, horrible up and down. I hit that really nice then, even though I took a bit off, and I've left myself probably the hardest up and down on the green now. That's gone like its normal yardage with a grip down 3/4 swing. Must have got a flyer. Oh well. Right, matter at hand. I'll tell you what, I hit one poor chip on the second, and then the rest of them I've really executed nicely. Well, 9 holes. We are 1 over par, not where I want to be. I reckon, knowing that 8 under would be the winning pace today. Obviously, I'm 9 back of there. Top 5 would be 4 under, and that top 10 would be 2 under. So 3 off where I'd want to be a top 10. I would hopefully be getting a top 5 round here. So 5 shots to try and pick up. 9 would be fantastic. Let's see how we get on in the back 9. Another par 5, the 10th hole, 422. Gorgeous little section of the golf course this. 9, 10, 11 and 12, probably my favourite part to play. I need to make birdie here. I've wasted 2 par 5s that are very gettable. This is the last one. So we need to, at minimum make birdie here. Good drive away and see how we go. Don't cut anymore, just hit that out the neck. Spin up for me, spin up. Luckily, we didn't quite get the heavy stuff. It's actually probably aimed a little bit. Yeah, aimed a little bit off there. But it's above ground. We should have maybe 7-8 iron in here. Pretty much back where we were on the 8th, if only that was the green for the par 5 now. But 168 yards to the flag here. I'm going to go 7 iron, because this is my 170 club, and that pin looks like it's perched right on the back of the green there to me, and the front's actually only 158. So 7 iron. Get a good strike on this one. I want to hit a really good iron shot here. Commit to my new swing. Middle of the green, 2 putts. We're cooking. We're cooking. It's pitched on the front and spun off. Just took a little bit too steep on it. It was not far away. I probably didn't factor that 10% in I spoke of earlier and just went out for the number thinking the back pin is probably playing just a little bit shy. Little bit shy there. I definitely should have added my 10% on, but started online and it was struck, was the positive. Just a little frisky on that one, little frisky. Landed it about a foot too far. Oh, it just wiggled at the end. Another par on these par 5s, it's not good enough. The par 4s realistically, hence why that course rating's lower. I'm just not quite there. Just need 10% more and we're there. I've actually just remembered the last time I played here was on Peter Finch's channel. We had a match and Pete, I don't know what happened, but he literally hit it about 70 yards off the tee here with a 3-wood. It was one of the worst shots I think I've ever seen him hit. It was quite impressive. Go and watch that video. But we're going 5-wood down the middle. Leaves us a good wedge and don't want to hit driver and get too close on the upslope. So if we hit this, we can get a good look at the green then. That's perfect. Fairway found. I tell you what, I know my score isn't exactly where I want it to be, but my game, after just one lesson and a small setup change, all about weight placement in my feet, and then a little bit of swing path work, I'm feeling a lot more confident going into this year to work towards that first win. Hopefully as well, we're going to get the coach on soon. We've got another lesson in about a week's time, so all being well, we're going to video that so you can see what it is we're working towards. 66 yards. I expected it to be about 20 yards back there, just over here, but I munched that one. Right, 66 up the hill, 58. 66 is probably playing closer to 70 with elevation and cold. It's going to be in between my left arm level and left arm shoulder. Felt like the right number. Nicely struck. Could this be the first birdie, or will our putter misbehave again? Could be the quickest change of a putter I've ever had. Unscrew the back and get the fang on mid-round. That's actually a couple of shots now where I've hit it past pin high, which is very uncommon. Interesting up and down to be had. I thought that was spot on then, so I do think I maybe swung it a little bit long, but oh, we're doing all the right things with the chipping, which is good, which is an improvement from last year, definitely. Another par. Just need to take advantage of those shots. Just went a little bit long, trying to factor in height and the cold, and ripped it through, but another par to keep it going. Normally I think with some of those shots I probably would have had a like, that's unfair mentality. I hit a good one, but not this year, baby. The 12th hole is playing 158 yards today, slightly downhill. A little bit, the wind's picking up ever so slightly as well now. It's sort of down and off the left. Maybe that's why that last shot went a bit long. So I'm going to go 8 iron. I don't think it's a full one of these in normal circumstances. Add the 10% on. This is playing close to maybe 173. So I think I can be pretty full out with this 8 iron. Let's keep it going. Oh, I've cut it too much. Kick left for me. Kick left. Yes. I was hoping we'd see that appear on the green. The strike was nice, I did everything how I wanted to, bar just a little bit too much fade. In off the cushion, just pitched just there and just trickled down the hill for us. Pin high, done pretty well with my distances today. Few where we've gone out. Can this be the first one that we send away to its little home? Good thing you took the flag out, eh? Not gonna lie, I was a bit nervous over that one, but solidly struck end over end. Shame about the first one. Another par. Can't go around without having a little birdie in sight. We're 3 off the pace for a top 10. We need to get our foot on the gas. The 13th place, 384 yards. Bunker at 280 yards off the tee, so we're going 5 wood. It is downhill. This isn't going to reach it. I know that driver maybe gets into it and it does narrow up there, so hit this down, hopefully leave 8 or 9 iron in, try and get that first elusive birdie. Fade for me. Little bounce, just in the semi. Struck it nice, just pulled it a fraction. 145 yards out of rough. I think that's going to jump a little bit. I think 9 irons are the play here. This one does look like it's on the back of the green. I've made that mistake a few times, but I think we're good here with 9 iron. 8 iron I think maybe goes too far. So 9 iron, straight at it. Let's see if we can stuff it in close and take advantage of this little pull down here. Travel, it's just popped up in the air. That was nice. It sort of jumped a little bit more than I thought that would have done. I thought it was going to come out with no spin, but it's a green. Well, we have quite a way up here, up the hill, left to right. I've held putts of this distance before. I've 2-putted a very high percentage of them. So let's just get out of dodge. Right in the jaws, just needed the hit. Another par. We're ticking off a hot par streak here. Quite the run of pars in a row. I can't remember where it was where I made my bogey, but really need a birdie. Right, a hole that is a real risk and reward. 298 the 14th. If I can creep this up and on, normally in the summers heat, you would look at 3 wood, 5 wood and just sneak it up to the front edge if it was downwind. Today, maybe get there if we had a couple of bounces, but just up the middle, hope for a good chip and a putt. Well, I got it down right into that mound. That was not sort of undecided on the shape I wanted to hit then, and pushed it 5 yards right of where I was aiming with my normal fade. I should have just aimed left. Bit silly that, but I can see it, so we're okay. Not quite where I was hoping to be pitching from. How far have we got? Just 70. 70 yards out of a frisky lie here. This is probably the first actual challenge we've faced today. 70 yards, I'm going to get my 52, I think. Yeah, because it's on an upslope already. Not done bad. It was hard to get like a balanced stance on that one, so sort of lacked a little bit of force into it. If I would have had that 52, it would have covered, but we're greening, albeit not close enough, but we navigated the trouble. Right, a little bit of a way again, but at least we're putting. It's 4 left, just there, just there. We've had a lot of tap-in pars today, a lot of tap-in pars. We're getting close to the end now, 4 more holes to go. And we all know that if I don't get into bracket 3, it's £10 in the pot going to the Golf Foundation at the end of the year for every time that I'm not in that bracket. So I'd like to start the year by not doing that, but we need 3 birdies in the last 4. If I get under par, I'd be pretty happy with today. So we keep going, and see what happens. 15th hole, 368 yards. Going for the 5 wood. The bunker's out in the distance. 245 to reach the first one. So today, in this condition, it's not going to get there. Oh, that is the worst swing I've made all day. Sit. Oh, it's in the semi-rough. That was very necky. Just had a few iffy ones with that. It's down there though. It's going to be a hard birdie. 168 yards to the flag. This feels into wind ever so slightly as well now. Bit cold. 170, if you added your 10%, you're 187, the best part of 190. That's a 6 iron. Up the left and let it cut in. Travel. Just took a bit too much off that and it was sort of a bit thicker to get through that stuff than I thought. It's on the front of the green, but just not quite up there. Good thing was, quite a lot of my shots now that I'm starting to hit with my irons. Just need to get the distances dialed in with the new clubs and them conditions wise. But a lot of them are starting off online and getting the shape that I want, which is something that I struggled with a lot last year. So lessons already paying off. Well, the green was found, we got up and it's just trickled back down the big false front here about 6 or 7 paces until you get up onto the flat. So we're gonna have to finish with a flurry if we want to make bracket 3. Comes down to good lag putting here. What is that? Ah, annoying. Can't find a positive in that one. Forwards maybe. I didn't rely on my feel then and just whacked it a little bit more than needed, which is a shame. Finally, the first putt we held is one that actually was very much needed. Whew. Thank God that one in. Right, on to the next, 3 holes to go. Need to pick 3 birdies up. 120 yards for this one. It's going to be a 3/4 pitching wedge. This could be the hole-in-one that we talked of. Oh, I pulled it. No. Right, we're going to rely on a good pitch now. Got the yardage spot on. Just shut the face a tiny bit. Right, decisions to be made here. Distance was good. Got a delicate little chip. I can either put this, but I think it's just a little bit wet, the grass now, and it's going to roll nice, but I think it'll snag a little bit. So 58, nothing fancy. Don't need to do anything crazy. All I need to do is land this up around here and it runs out. Just got a little bit too much zip on it there. Picked it lovely and clean. Thing with new grooves, you'll always get that extra little bit of spin, but did everything pretty nicely to plan. Well, nicely tidied up, a good short game performance today around the greens. We've chipped it nicely, hit some really good ones, so there's a lot to take from today, a lot to take moving forwards. 322 the 17th, gonna go 5 wood. This has been my trusty club today, even when it's not quite gone to plan, it still puts me there or thereabouts. Get this away, the temperature's just dropped and the rain started again, so it's going to be a testing last couple of holes. That's the best one we've hit today. Oh, majestic. 54 yards to this lovely green here, just a flat pitch. Land it at the front and let it skid up, and we should have a nice easy little pitch in there. Oh, I've pulled it. Distance was spot on, direction not so much, just struggle with a slightly shut face sometimes, so something to note and work on, but distance control very good. This is it. This is it. Finish with a flourish. 10 feet, not much break. These normally are your bread and butter fryer, so let's butter it. Pushed it. Infuriating, Brian. Infuriating. Another chance gone begging. It's been a while since I've had a round where I haven't had a birdie, and even in amongst all the tripe that has been played. I think the only positive I can take is that the game feels a lot better than when I have made birdies, but had those doubles and triples firing in from all different kinds of angles. So 18's the spot to get one. Finish level. I need a hole in one to miss the bracket. So we've definitely got tenner in the pot and a broken ankle nearly. I think there's a lot of good things to come from today. 18th hole, 346 yards. Bunker at 245 yards. So we're going to stay shy of that. Wedge in, make our birdie. Come on. Little bit heely again, that's been my miss strike today. Just bounced off the fairway into the roughy stuff, but it's okay, safely away. 137 yards we face for our final shot. 10% is making that 150. I think we go 9-iron. 3/4 9-iron, just take a smidgen off it. Oh, that has just completely flipped the club over. What a sad way to end what has been a good round. Not the finish we wanted. Not the finish we wanted. It's got me again this hole. Just caught it a fraction heavier than I wanted. I was trying to get it running, but I was just a little heavy. Oh well. We move on, folks. Work to be done for the rest of the year. Oh, I thought that was in all the way then. Story of the day, just skirting the holes. Well, 2 over par, not ideal. I don't think too bad in these cold and wet conditions, but it's £10 into the pot because we didn't do it. And as well, why not watch this video here where I try to break 50 with Peter Finch and Andy Carter.